Well, here comes another passerby know-it-all who thinks they're dropping some knowledge and giving bad advice to everybody. This guy comes across my page and says, long story short, get a lawyer. He breaks off the judge. I guess he means who breaks off the judge. First of all, I mean, this is what's wrong with the father's rights movement or men in general. Dudes love just coming across a random page where somebody knows what they're talking about, like me, who actually won in court, and then they're going to drop a bunch of knowledge and advice that's contrary to everything that I'm talking about or anything that actually works. Dudes love just dropping, I guess, I guess that's the phenomenon of social media. Everybody's a friggin' expert, and they'll drop all kinds of unintelligent stuff like this. Or they'll come by and be Captain Obvious, where people will love to come by and say, well, the system is corrupt and they don't follow the rules and the law. Yeah, no ish, Sherlock. What do you think I'm doing here? I'm helping people overcome that. You want to sit here and whine, cry, piss, and moan about the system? Go to a father's rights movement Facebook page or one of their home meetings. They will spoon with you and cuddle with you and cry and whine and piss all night long. I actually had a guy, I was just looking at a comment. He was like, yeah, the system is corrupt. I'm like, what's your point? We already know that. Yeah, so there's ways to overcome it. He goes, oh, I won in court. I won by default, and the other side didn't show up. So what are you doing? Oh, I just wanted to let people, you just want to have yourself heard. Everybody loves to drop some knowledge to be heard. Everybody's got a little ego and they want to be heard. I just talked to a guy today. He wants to still argue how the court doesn't have jurisdiction. The judges don't have any authorities. The family law commissioners don't have any authority. And he wants to argue with me about that stuff. So I've never seen a dad in family court ever argue, oh, the treaties with the Moors, or I'm a sovereign nation, or the law says that you only have limited authority, and actually win that. There's guys out there who literally they think that they're going to be the Martin Luther King or the Malcolm X or the Gandhi of family court. And after 60 years of entire groups of thousands of people not ever changing or scratching a dent in the family court system, you think in your little megalomaniac ego, your little self-flattering image of yourself, you think you're just going to overturn the court system because you read some statute and interpreted your own way? The guy I was talking to today, he was saying, I was telling him, dude, nobody's ever going to win that jurisdictional argument. Go rescue your kid. You're not seeing your kid right now, and you're caught up in, oh, they didn't have authority, because you're butthurt and you're emotional about what happened. You want to get all caught up and do all this research and find all this evidence and information about whether they have jurisdiction. And then he's telling me, well, you don't understand, James. You don't know what's going on. Okay, well, the law allows you to go to court, and the law allows the judge to rule over you if you invite them with a divorce case, a child support case. This guy's like, well, you're not understanding the law. I'm like, okay, well, tell me the law. If I tell you something and I'm wrong, show me the law or something to back it up. And so the guy's like, well, let me go look it up and let me see. I'm like, dude, don't come and tell me you know something that I don't know, and I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't understand. And you don't even know what the hell you're talking about. And you got to go look it up and go find it. And the guy wanted to go over our time that he paid and expand on this and tell me that I'm wrong and stuff while he's not seeing his kid. While he's being an absent, deadbeat dad because he wants to overthrow the entire government on his own, all by himself. Look, if you want to get caught up in being right, or, instead of like looking at somebody and saying, oh, what you did worked, what I did not work, let me check out what you did. Guys like this just come by and say, oh, yeah, go get an attorney who beats the brakes off of a judge. There are no such attorneys. You Down syndrome having unintelligent blankety blank. I get sick and tired of people who talk about what goes without saying. Mr. Captain Obvious, the corrupt system is corrupt, or the judges are corrupt. No ish, Sherlock. So what are we going to do about it? How are you going to actually get your... And then other guys are like, oh, I know this and I know that and I interpret the law like... And the guy actually who I was talking about earlier, I had to get off the phone because he wanted to keep talking for free over the phone. I said, dude, we're over our time. And he's like, but this, but that. And then he wants to disrespect my time, so he doesn't give a shit. He just wants to he just wants to be heard. Just like this guy. He just wants someone, oh my God, look at that great advice you have. and he's full of doo-doo. So the guy sent me a picture of the statute that he's looking at, and then I kept reading the rest of the statute. The part that he read was vague, and he thought it was on his side. And then I read more to realize that he was full of crap, and he had no argument. You should really know what the hell you're talking about and why you're saying it, and have some actual experience or winning experience that backs it up. And if you're just here to whine, cry, piss, and moan about how corrupt the system is, and you won, why don't you go tell people or teach people how to win instead of just whining and crying? You're just like every other loser out there who got their butt kicked, who's whining and crying and not doing anything, or who's scared or intimidated or think or is hope. You're feeding the hopelessness. We already know the system sucks. Black people already knew Jim Crow law sucks. It didn't. Women knew that it sucked when they couldn't get a job when they wanted to get a job. Japanese folks who were interned in concentration camps during World War II. That sucked. They did something about it. They got reparations for that. Black folks got Plessy versus Ferguson overturned, separate but equal is equal. Brown versus Board of Education said separate equal is not equal. And then it allowed free access to everybody and overturned and outlawed Jim Crow laws. What are you doing? This is what I'm getting at. What are you doing about it besides just dropping stupid comments like this? Everybody loves to just drop a dumb comment. See, I take it really seriously because my audience, when they look at something and they're lost, I take it very seriously what comes out of my mouth. That's why when I tell you I got full custody and I won in the Court of Appeals and I won contempt and I fought off bogus restraining orders, I show you my winning court orders. And then I show you where the law is that backs up what I'm saying or how to go do stuff or testimonies from other people. And I'm very cautious about saying something that could hurt somebody, hurt their case, or mislead them. But on the internet, there's all kinds of numbnuts like this who just love to just drop, oh, just go get a badass attorney. There is no such thing. There are a few rare cases, like I would say it's 1 out of 1,000. In 25 years of dealing with this stuff, 24 years, almost 25, I've met 4 attorneys that I like. I can't even count the attorneys that I've heard about and talked about. I've dealt with 25,000 cases. And I almost never hear a good story about an attorney. And I definitely don't hear the attorneys doing everything that they can, getting on the offensive, doing a deposition, going for custody. They might do a deposition, but they say you'll never get anything more than 50-50. You'll never even get 50-50. Or they might say you might get 50-50, but they won't do a deposition. They won't use all the weapons that are available to them. And then we got a bunch of dorks like this who really belong in a Father's Rights Movement group. And again, the Father's Rights Movement groups, I've done a couple of videos on TikTok about that and shared it over the years that I've been on YouTube. It's a bunch of guys who lost in court, and then they have a page and they post a bunch of stuff. I just had a guy from the I think it was the national group, Father's Rights Movement. I criticized them, and he goes, what's your problem? We're passing laws to do this and that. I said, dude, the laws aren't going to change the judge's corrupt heart. He's like, well, we're doing this and well, we're doing that, and this guy is doing this, and their little leader who's running around getting his ego. Another guy who loves, the guy who's with the Father's Rights Movement is he from Chicago or Ohio? Anyway, he's running around bragging about how he's pushing 50-50 laws. And I got a video that proves that 50-50 laws won't change anything. And he's running around loving to hear himself and getting aroused because he has meetings with legislators and he gets on YouTube and gets interviewed. I don't give a crap about that crap. I had an interview with Pearl from Pearly Things. There's only like 15,000 people watch it, even though she got 2 million followers. Because people don't want answers. They want to see her embarrassing all these booty clapping 304s. It's more entertainment than it is people. The average person doesn't want a solution because a solution takes hard work. If you love your kids enough, I was just talking to a woman tonight. We were talking about this, and she said, "Yeah, a lot of these people, they don't love their kids enough. Like they care about their kids, but they don't care enough to do something. Everybody just wants to come by and drop some knowledge." What have you done to back this up? Who are these lawyers? See, you won't even give any details. You just drop some stupid unintelligent, low IQ, Down syndrome crap like this. Like I say, I hate people that say stuff that goes without saying. I hate people who mislead, or I hate people who don't tell the full balance, like these child support is fraud folks. They don't tell you the whole story of what they're only talking about, division child support, and they mislead you thinking it applies in court. Anyway.